after a couple miles, this engine came back for an inspection. It's very important that you do an inspection, a break-in inspection, after you repair an engine. As you remember, this engine was the one then we replaced the crankshaft and many components because a driver did a wrong gear was going downhill, and this caused the engine a severe problem. The engine came back after 1,000 miles, and here we have it. It's very important that you do an inspection, as I say, break-in inspection, because there could be many components that could be loose, or components that can have some wear after 1,000 miles, just to make sure for operation, right? In this case, I already did a proper inspection and there is nothing wrong, and also I did replace the oil, because you know it's very important. It is not necessary to do it, but in this case it's been very windy here in Fontana, especially when I was doing the repair on this engine, on this DD15 engine. There was so much wind going on, so there could be some kind of dirt here and there, so that's why it's very important to replace the oil. Even if there is no possibility of dirt inside the engine, it's important because after the engine starts, there is a lot of wear that is going to happen because it's the first start of the engine. So there is going to be a lot of wear, a lot of debris that are going to get released to the oil, and this can cause many problems if you don't change the oil on time. So that's why it's very important. And now after I did the oil change, this engine is ready to work. There is nothing wrong with the engine, there is no leaks, there is not engine malfunctions. Engine start a little late simply because I did replace the filters. That is normal for DD15 engines. After you replace the filters, they take a little longer to start. And also I'll check all the codes and everything, and we are clear to any faults on this engine. This is the final step. This is the one step that is going to be the most important and the final after you repair an engine. Well, sometimes this is not necessary because you know when you do a work right, when you do it right, there is no possibilities to have a mistake. But it is always better, even when you know that you did right, better to inspect it. And especially, you know, when the engine was completely removed, and you remember then this truck had the engine completely removed. So that's the reason why I say that, because engine was completely removed and there were many components. Then we have to move from here to there to there to there until we got it all together. And you know, there is always a possibility to make a mistake, and that's the reason why it's important to inspect one time, another time, another time, another time. This is going to be just from prevention. And you, for example, if you are a mechanic and you did a job, it's very important that you recommend to do that, because that is going to save some of the expenses that can happen over the road, and you can save to the owner. And you, as the owner, it's very important that you push that too, because you never know. I mean, even when the engine is running right, it doesn't take much time to inspect it. At least just to walk around. A visual inspection, that's mostly what you want to do, because I mean, if you have any internal problems, well, I mean, you want to hear them, and there is nothing you can do until you repair them. But when the engine is working fine, it's always important to do a visual inspection just to make sure that everything is in the proper position. And if there is nothing wrong, well, this engine is ready, this truck is ready to go back to work. It is just a way to prevent problems from happening, and it is just a way to maintain everything in a good condition. There is one thing that probably I forgot to tell you in the other videos, and that is that there is no unnecessary way to drive the truck after a major overhaul. There is no a specific way you have to drive it. You have to drive it normally. If you did an overhaul to the engine and now you're thinking, how do I have to drive my truck to do the best performance out of it, so I don't damage it again. There is no specific way, as long as you don't let the engine on lower gears and lower RPMs, or high gears, lower RPMs, that will be fine. As long as you don't do that, as long as you don't do the ground gears, and as long as you don't abuse the engine, everything will be fine. I mean, if you drive the truck normally, everything is going to be normal. I mean, and that's what it requires, normal driving. Nothing special. There is no a special protocol you have to follow after you repair an engine completely. And that is in case you have a question. That is something that I forgot, and I think that it's very important, and you guys know that. Oil change is going to be normal after this one. I already did the freeze oil change after the major overhaul. So after this one is going to be normal, depending on how you do it. You can do it every 15, every 20, or every 25,000 miles. In this case, the owner of this truck does it around like 3 months because it's local. Miles, probably 10,000 miles. But 3 months or 10,000 miles will be the mileage he's going to go after. But probably if you are out of state driver, owner operator, probably you are going to do more if you go to different states, New York, Boston, the Massachusetts, and all those places, right? So probably you're gonna do probably like 20,000 miles in 1 month, or probably 2 months. So it's going to depend on how you drive the truck. That is something that you have to keep track on it, because the best time, the best way to do the oil change you do on your truck, that is how long the engine is going to last. There is probably nothing to inspecting the engine. Probably you can do the valve adjustment again. It's not necessary to do it. I don't think it's completely necessary to do that, but if you want to do it, it's fine. Adjusting the intake and exhaust valves is not going to make a big difference after a major overhaul. Probably it's going to be okay. Probably after 300,000 miles, probably yeah, you can do a major adjustment to the intakes and exhaust valve, and that probably can help. But for the moment, it's not going to be something that it is completely necessary to do. But this is pretty much all I'm gonna add to this video. I don't have to make it that long. This is just a basic inspection after an overhaul. This is something that you all gotta do after major overhaul or anything that you replace or repair. It's very important. That will prevent a lot of problems. And if there is something wrong, you find that there is something wrong, you must repair it immediately before it comes and do something bigger, another problem over the road, or simply something that is going to be expensive to repair later. If you have any questions about this video, it's very important that you use the comment section below. That way you can actually leave all the doubts that you have. Commenting problems or solutions or experiences about this kind of problems, these kind of experiences, inspections and everything is very important in the comment section. That way you all can share something different besides whatever I'm showing you here. We all can learn different stuff on the comment section, and that's the reason why it's important to use it. But if you want to contact me directly, go to Instagram and look for me, franciscoamaya YouTube. There you can contact me the fastest. I will try to get to your questions as fast as I can, but I will just ask you to be specific on your questions. If you have a specific question about check engine light or something like that, be sure to have the codes and send them to me. That way I can give you the better answer. If not, I have to find out what type of codes you have freeze to give you the answer to the question that you have. If you want to send support to the channel, check the description of the video below. Then I want to have details how to send support to my channel. That way I can create content like this for all of you want to learn more about these trucks. Subscribe to the channel is important, liking the video, it's very important too, and thank you for watching.